Look at verse 6 of chapter 46, okay? Turn over the page to 46 and verse 6. This is what the Lord says. Remember the former things of old, for I am God. There's no other God. I am God. There is none like me. Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning. So whatever the end of the world is like, God's already declared it, right? He declares the end from the beginning. In fact, the first prophecy in the Bible is from Genesis 5 by a fellow named Enoch. It's recorded in Jude, the second last book of the New Testament. And it talks about the second coming of Christ with all of his saints already with him. That means that Jude was a dispensationalist. Isn't that amazing? Before there were dispensations. And I won't even get into that. Okay. But look at this. Declaring the end from the beginning. And the ancient things, and from ancient times, things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel will stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Prophecy proves God's reliable. What he's saying is, I'll do whatever I want to do, and what I said is going to happen. In other words, he's saying, you can trust me. I'm reliable. I'm the one that you can put your hope and trust in. I'm the one that's really God. I'm the one that knows the future. See how he's progressing? He's reasoning, by the way. Isaiah was reasoning with a declining number of God's people that were losing their adherence to God. And he was reasoning with them and saying, why are you bailing out on God? He's the only real God. Idols are false. He's the only one that's reliable. He is the true God. He's proved it. Now, keep going to Isaiah 48. Because prophecy is a test to show who is God. Prophecy proves God is real. Prophecy proves God is reliable. That's what 46, 9, and 10 says. But now 48 of Isaiah, chapter 48, verse 3, prophecy reveals to us the God we can place our trust in. Okay, look at verse 3. I have declared, Isaiah 48, 3, the former things from the beginning. It's kind of getting to be a repeated message. He just repeats himself, doesn't he? But he's trying to get this across. He says, I've declared the former things from the beginning. They went forth from my mouth. I caused them to hear it. Suddenly I did them, and they came to pass. By the way, Bible prophecies are kind of like I don't know enough about computer stuff, but there are these programs people write that are just sitting out there waiting to do something bad, like viruses and stuff, and they're just sitting out there, hiding and waiting to spring forth. Well, that's a negative illustration. Look what he says. Suddenly I did them, in verse 3. He says, my words are in this prophetic light. My words, I'm going to cause them to come to pass. See, God has put all of his power behind his words. And he says, some of those prophecies haven't occurred yet, but when the time comes, they're going to spring forth and do what I told you. Look at verse 5. Even from the beginning, I have declared it to you. Before it came to pass, I proclaimed it to you. Lest you should say, my idol has done them. See, he's arguing against idolatry. The nation of Israel was, especially the southern kingdom, Judah, was under Manasseh, was going into idolatry. And they were bowing down to these gods that they made with their own hands. And he says, your gods can't tell the future. Only I can. Now look at verse 12 of chapter 48. Listen to me, O Jacob and Israel, my called, that's what his people were, his called ones. I am he, I am the first, I'm also the last. Doesn't that sound like Revelation? Same person speaking here. Indeed, my hand has laid the foundation of the earth. That's Jesus, the Creator. My right hand is stretched out to heavens. When I call to them, they stand up together. What he's saying is the whole universe is just waiting for God's command, and it just responds.